Hi there, and welcome to another exciting session of training provided by Quicksoft. In this chapter, we're going to cover bank statement. Bank statement is one of the most important component in cash management process because this is what tells us what has happened in the bank because we are doing transactions in our system only when we do transaction get the transaction details from the bank. That is the time when we will know what has actually happened in the bank because that gives me real picture of the cash movement in the bank. Whatever cash movement I'm recording in my books is based on whatever documents I receive. For example, I receive a check for $10,000. I record in a book that money received. But when I deposit the check in the bank, I'm not sure whether check got cleared or not cleared. Only by looking at a bank statement, I will know whether check was cleared or check was bounced or whatever, all the status on that. Yeah. So bank statement serves a very good control perspective so that when I get the details from the bank statement, I can then reconcile whatever has happened in my books versus bank books and make sure these books are always reconciled. Once these books are reconciled, that means all the entry which I have recorded in my books versus the bank what bank has recorded are in sync. So this is the crucial process which is done for all the businesses. Some businesses do it on monthly basis, some do it on bi-monthly basis, some weekly, and some organizations where cash movement is very high, they do it daily, and even within a day they do it twice, intraday also they do it. So as long as you get good control on your real cash what's available in the bank, then you can decide a frequency what you want to know. If your frequency of cash movement is not high, monthly is fine. Yeah, so depending upon your business need, you want to optimize the cash which you have and then decide how do you want to plan for the cash. Okay, so let's start on the bank statement. Now, what is the bank statement? Bank statement is basically detail of transactions happened uh, to your business which are given by banks to all the businesses, because for the businesses they have to open a current account with the bank. Yeah, and for the current account details you can always get the details from the bank and download the bank statement as per your requirement. This can be downloaded periodically. As I mentioned, you can download it as per your requirement, monthly, weekly, daily, twice a day, as per your need. And then bank can provide you necessary download and the required format which you need. What does it contain? It contains details about activities in bank account for the selected period. Yeah, so depending on what period you want, for that period, it gives you a snapshot of the activities which are recorded in the bank system. Yeah, I have my system, bank has their own system. So bank statement extracts the details of the activity for the period and gives it to me so that I can then try to match with my system and reconcile. Now, there are a variety of formats available for the bank statement, yeah, which are available in the market. So the supported format by Fusion are BAI2, yeah, it's from the Banking Administrative Institute, or Adifact, or CAMT 53, or the Swift MT940. The most popular ones are BAI2 and Swift MT940. Yeah, Swift MT940 was very popular and MT940 was available at most of the banks. BAI2 then became more popular, and now CAMT is becoming almost like a replacement of BAIT and MT940 because CAMT is a XML format and it contains much more details which were not available previously in the BAI2 and MT940. But still, most of the banks provide these formats. So as per your need, you can request the bank. And actually, most of the banking websites, if you have a business, you can go there and then configure what kind of statement download you want. Yeah, you can configure that as. So what does this statement contain? Is basically typically it contains account number for which you're downloading the statement, transaction date, transaction amount, reference data, opening balance and closing balance. Yeah, so basically if I generate the statement for 1st April, it'll tell me 1st April what was the opening balance. Yeah, and the statement is for which account number, my current account number, transaction date, whatever transaction happened during the day, amount for each transaction, and reference data. Reference data can be your check number or can be any other reference number which bank has. And then finally the closing balance for the day. This gives me statement for the particular date. So this is just high level details about what is the bank statement, what is the purpose of the bank statement, and what kind of information available in the bank statement. Now, many of you may not have actually seen a bank statement. Those who have not worked on this process before may not have seen bank statement before. So I would like to give you a brief snapshot and some details about the statement so that you understand how does it look like. Yes, and you can appreciate the details available in that. Okay, so I'll share with you a few of the formats so that you get clarity. We'll start with BAI2. Yeah, so this is the format. If you download the statement from the bank, this is what you will get. Yeah, so now I will explain to you in detail what does it look like. The first column, which is color coded, this is basically that column is the transaction code or whatever the bank has the for each identifier recorded. You can also call it record identifier. So each one has a meaning. Yeah, I'll explain you what does it mean slowly. So let me share with you at the beginning. We have a header. This is the header record. 01 is called header record. 02 is called group header. 03 is called account and summary. 04 is a continuation record because whenever this particular record exceeds the length of the record, then it will add a 88 record for the same one in the next line and then becomes a continuation of the previous record. Then transaction detail. This is a detailed transaction. You notice for each record the record type is changing. Then account trailer for the account, group trailer for a group, file trailer for a file. Yeah. So these are the various record types you have. Let me explain a bit more details about this one. So if you look at file header, yeah. So what does it contain? The file header. This is a CSV file format. So then this field gives you the sender. The sender is the who is sending this file to you. This field is the receiver. These are the banking identifiers. Then file creation date. This is the file creation date, yeah, which you see here. Then file creation time. Then file identification number, yeah. So this is for each creation date. Then physical record length is 100, yeah. So and version number is 2. So this is basically for the header detail. For the record length is 100. Now let's look at record type 2, which is group header. So again, ultimate receiver and original identification. Original will be same as the bank. Ultimate receiver is, in case it's same, it will be same. Otherwise, it could be different. Yeah. Group status 1, as of date, time, currency. Yeah. So this is important information. So this is for the USD. Account and summary. Now record type is 3. 3 record type contains customer account number. This is the actual account number in the bank. Yeah. For which the statement is getting generated. Then currency. Then this is the type code 015. 015 type code is for the opening balance. You will see those codes later, understand. 015 is actually means opening balance. And then the amount. Yeah, this is the opening balance. Amount is 14481. Yeah. And then this is 00110 code, which is for closing balance. And because this line has not complete, there's an 88 code, which is continuation. So we're saying opening balance for this much, then closing balance become this much. Is giving you details of that. So these are again the codes identified here. So actually 15 is actually closing balance. 60 is currently available. 70 is date float. So these are all the codes in the statement which we need to take care of. Later when I talk about transaction code, you will understand the importance of these codes. Yeah. So this is what is given information given here. Now this was all at statement header level information up to this level. Now what we are more concerned about is what has happened in the bank. What activities happened during that period. That is the important information for us is transaction detail, which is record type 16. Yeah, record type 16 is the more important for us, which we need to focus on. This one I can ignore. 88. Yeah, 16. Very important on this one is a transaction type code. This is which you will understand later when we do the mapping in cash management. This is the most important field which you should be aware of. When we configure cash management with a bank, we should be getting details of all possible code which bank will be sending to you. Then we have to define the mapping in our system. On this record, important thing to note is the transaction code. I have highlighted in red, so you can easily identify it. And the amount, yeah, what has moved. And then After that, we have bank reference number. This is bank's internal reference number. And then finally, customer reference number. This is your customer reference number. This could be your check number or any ID which you are given. Yeah, this is very important. This is the field which we use to reconcile. This line basically helps us do the reconciliation with our receivables or payables module. This up to for 1, 2, 3, 4 lines are header information. Lines starting with 16 are your statement detail. And then this is again part of header, the closing lines. Yeah, so when you upload this kind of statement, you will see header, detail, and basically the closing lines of the statement. Then at account trailer level, which is record type 49, it gives you account control total. For this account, what is the control total that's moved and number of records. That is for the account trailer level. And then group trailer gives you group control total, number of accounts and number of records 21. So basically group header will be for each account. A group header can have many accounts inside, right? So for group total will be combining total of all the accounts and number of accounts in that group and number of records in that group. Yeah. And finally the file trailer, file control total, number of groups, number of records. So this is basically like a control total when you're loading. So if somebody tampers with a file, this total don't match, then that means this file has some problems. Yeah, so this is what is BAI2 format looks like. I've tried to explain to you in a very simple way so you understand how the format looks like and how to read this format. Oracle Fusion supports this format. So if you get a file in this format from the bank, you don't need to do any customization. You will be able to upload in cash management automatically without any programming required. Okay, so this is one format which we are talking about. Let's look at another one. This is called MT940. Yeah, so which is a Swift format for bank statement. This is one of the also very most popular format which is has been used for many. So in this file, this is the format for records. Yeah, so you notice this is the format for records. Now each has at the beginning a tag number. Yeah, this first one is for a file. In this one, tag number 20 is for transaction reference number. What's it showing here is your account number. 25 is account identification. This is the bank where the account is, the bank's IFRS code, and then this is your bank account number. Then this is your 28C statement number, sequence number. For statement number, for each sequence here, it gives you your running number. Like this one is 201, this is 201, this is 202, and if within that, if there are multiple, then become 201, 001, 002. These are multiple records. So up to this is still header information. Then 60A is the opening balance. 60, anything with a 60, right? It can be opening balance. 60 is what it shows here is 60F. So record type 60 is basically balance line. So 60 it gives me at YY MMDD currency and the account balance. How much is the account balance on this date? And then 61 is the statement line. Again, as I showed in the BI2, this is 61 is what my statement detail line is, what is the activity in my account happened. If I explain you 61 line, you will notice 61 line shows YY MMDD. This is a date for you, and then actually this is the details about this line. Value date. Number 2 is entry date MMDD. Debit to credit mark. This is debit. That means it's withdrawal. Fund code. Third character of the currency if needed. This is optional, so in this case it's not there. So now 15D is the amount. This 15 digit is the amount, and the decimals are shown after comma. Number 6. This is your reference code, starts with N. Yeah. After that is the transaction type code R13. Remember in the previous BI2 we have 475 and all that. Now for this one, this is the code they use R13, which is a transaction type code which we would have to define in our system. The reason I'm showing you this one because so that you understand what is the transaction type code. When we define it later, you can relate. So there is a withdrawal of 10,000 in this one. There is no customer reference. Generally, this can be check number if it is withdrawn by check, and this is the bank reference number and any supplementary details here about the transaction which are given here. These are supplementary details for transaction. Again, one more 61. That means on the same day there are two transactions, and then again very similar detail R13, the 10,000 withdrawal. Then finally 62. 61 is 60 is opening balance, 62 is closing balance booked funds. 62, this is the closing balance. Yeah, after 20,000 withdrawal, this is closing balance, and 64 closing available balance. Yeah, so this is the available closing balance, because sometimes you may have issued checks not cleared yet, so that there can be difference between these two balance, closing balance and closing available balance. Yeah, but this is how the structure of MT940 is. Let's look at next record. Next record has similar component, but there's no 61 line in this one. That means there is no in or out movement in this one. Yeah, in D is withdrawal, C will be deposit, but here there's no movement. Even the next day there's no movement. So you notice the opening balance and the closing balance lines are same. Yeah, so this is how MT940 looks like. Again, remember, important thing is to remember understand transaction type codes here. Yeah. MT940 is also supported format. The statement which you have can be easily uploaded in the system. Now the final one, which is CMT. CMT form 53 format is the latest format, which is XML based, and this is becoming more and more popular among the customer, because this has more detail than the previous format is with formats which were supported. So how does this look like? So this is in this CMT format you have group header, statement, balance, entry detail, transaction, and end of statement. Yeah, I will show you the XML file also shortly, but just to give you a snapshot of the file. So this basically have statement on top. If you are familiar with XML, I've just given a half of this file. You have closing brackets for that as well. You have group header, then you have statement, and within the statement you have account, balance, which is opening balance, available balance, and closing balance. The transaction summary, it gives you transaction detail, and then this and try basically the tag where it contains details of transaction. This is just same statement but in a different format. So you notice on the same day we have 10,000 withdrawal, debit, this is a withdrawal, date and time of withdrawal, date, and finally the account server reference, and CD. This is the transaction type code in CMT file. So these codes are different for different formats. Yeah. So this is a transaction type code, which if you're using CMT format, this is a transaction type code you will be defining in your system. Now let me show you a real format, how it looks like. This is an actual file which I was just now showing you. So if you notice this, if I close this statement, this is how the whole structure of the file is. Yeah. So if I expand this one, this is a group has basically the date and time, and then I go to statement. Now within the statement, it has an ID for each row, then account. This is the DBSS code, currency of the account, and then it goes to balance. In the balance, it shows you code. Now this is the code which we need to think about. This is one code for balances. There are different code for balances, different codes for transactions. Yeah, so opening balance code. So this shows you this is the balance in this currency. It's a credit to debit indicator. It's a credit balance, opening balance. So this is the opening balance. So this is again CMT format, a statement for the same account. So you see the transaction very similar. And then I open the second balance, closing balance available, this much, credit, and then transaction type code. See the code is different again, and then closing balance for the day. Yeah, credit, transaction type is again different. Now these were all header level, and then transaction summary. The 3 transactions for 20,000. So I show you. I'm not sure why it shows 3, because actually it's 2, only 2 transactions, but maybe it counts some other transaction as part of the CMT format, but actually transactions are only 2. Yeah. So now let me show you transaction details. So this is transaction 1 for 10,000 debit, I withdraw, and date, time of transaction, date, account server reference, and then this is transaction code. Now this is a statement line transaction. These what you saw in the balances were header level codes: opening balance, closing balance available, closing balance for a day. Now this is transaction code, which is for the actual moment. So this also we need to define in our system. Yeah. So 506. I open the next transaction. See, very similar, withdrawal 506. This is my statement for that date. I open the next statement. You will notice this is a similar account code, one balance, and finally if you notice this, my opening balance is for this much, my closing available is same, my closing balance for day is same. Basically there's no movement in a system for that. Yeah. Now I look at transaction summary for the day. It shows number of entries 2. Yeah, it doesn't mean number of transactions. I think that they have some logic of counting this, and some movement is 0. There's no movement. But whereas if you look at previous statement, transaction summary, if I look at the previous one, I show you transaction summary, you will see 20,000 movement. Yeah, so I just focus on movement, not on this number of entries. So this is how your CAMT statement looks like. So these are the most 4 supported formats, and I've explained you three most popular ones to you. I've shown you the real statement files and explained you in detail how these files are basically structured and what are the important fields which you need to focus on. Basically, different type of transaction code which you need to focus on. Yeah. So once you get good clarity, when you upload the statement next time, you will be able to appreciate what you're downloading. Yeah, you will be able to understand what the contents of data are. In this chapter, we have shown you what is a bank statement, what are the purposes of downloading a bank statement, what are the advantages of having a statement monthly, weekly, or daily basis, what are the business purposes behind it, why would somebody need it at different frequency. And also we have very importantly shared with you the most frequently used formats around the world and also those which are supported ones. After explaining the formats, I've actually gone through each and every format for those so that you can understand how it looks like from each bank, what kind of format looks like BI2 or MT940 or even CMT053. Yeah, for each format, I've explained you the important fields which are there, which are primarily transaction type codes, so that when you later in the next stage, when you implement, when we upload, you will be able to appreciate the information which we are uploading. In the next chapter, we're going to do the configuration required for these transaction type codes, and then finally we're going to upload the statement. Okay. With this, we conclude this chapter. Thank you very much for your time and attention, and happy learning.